them come. This is their fate.
All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. I am your host, Deontay, here with my near and dear friends, Jalen and Josh. Today we got some topics for y'all because we missed last week, unfortunately. People got busy. We was unable to get it recorded, and we didn't want to put it out too late. So this one's going to be recorded right before the PlayStation Showcase, so we're going to be talking about that heavily, and we're going to also be talking about a lot of other things that has happened over the last 2 weeks. So stick around. Appreciate you guys joining and tuning in. Now, before we get started, per usual, Jalen, Josh, tell the people how you been, what you've been up to, what you've been playing, and everything else in between, I suppose.
Yeah. So I've mostly been chilling here with the family. It's summertime, so it's getting a lot hotter. But summer in Japan, we actually get a lot of rain, so it'd be hot and rainy days. So haven't been going out much or anything like that. Got to play a little bit of Elden Ring with Jalen. Still chipping away at that game. We might finish it before the end of the year. Who knows? Otherwise, the biggest game that came out is Zelda. And last time we was on the podcast, I guess it was right before Zelda came out. We talked about it a bit, but since then I've been playing not too much of it, I guess, because I haven't had a whole lot of time. I know some people already beat the game, but I've been playing it a bit and enjoying it a lot. We'll probably talk a little bit more about Zelda because it's making a lot of headlines for, breaking records and stuff like that. So otherwise, I'm doing pretty good. Waiting to see if Sony can convince me to buy a PlayStation, but who knows? See,
man, they already convinced you. You just out there. You out there doing your own thing.
I mean, it was some Final Fantasy 16 previews this week. I mean, they seem pretty positive.
Yeah, that Devil May Cry game, you mean? You mean Devil May Cry in Final Fantasy World? Yeah, okay. But yeah, I think it's gonna be dope. But we'll talk about that too. What about you, Jalen? Outside of getting whooped in some Elden Ring, well, I guess you was holding your own. I was getting whooped by them invaders. What you been up to? What you been doing? And how your week been going?
Was getting quiet. But no, my week been straight, man. Just getting used to the new job. Yeah, I mean, just kind of studying a little bit for that. So it's been a lot. Other than that, we've been trying to hop on Stank or Elden Ring. I'm really trying to beat that game and stuff like that before I really delve into Zelda. I only played a little bit of that, but I want to at least try to beat Stank and Ring. Elden Ring. So other than that, it's been cool though. Man, that game, bro. They should have had that Wulong multiplayer, bro.
Dude, I hate
all these random fall games. Stop, you're killing me.
Yeah, Elden Ring is more of a chore to play with friends than anything in the world. I'd be like, man, bro, I don't even know why I'm doing this to myself.
It's easier to play Stank Souls. Dark Souls online, honestly, because it's more straightforward.
Yeah, Elden Ring is definitely a harder game to kind of play multiplayer because of all the additional fog gates and we don't want you to go here, and it's weird, but it's still
you
fun.
Need certain items.
Yeah.
But I got to go across the world to get this item. You can't come with me, so I'll separate and come back. And
yep.
Can you help me get this item? But nah, you only can go in this area by yourself. Okay, well, never mind.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like that game is for sure single player, and they just pretend to have multiplayer. To be honest, I feel like that's how they do those games, and that's why the multiplayer is so poor, in my opinion. But yeah, we've been playing that. And, I've been trying to get through Zelda. I've been playing that a lot. I've been playing through Hogwarts. I'm trying to still get through a bunch of games. I got One Piece Odyssey. I got Jedi Survivor. I got Stranger's Paradise. I got quite a few games that I'm in rotation right now. But Tears of the Kingdom is obviously the one that I'm playing through the most. Beat two of the big things already, and I'm kind of just working my way through getting everything. But it's cool, you know. I mean, I like playing it. I enjoy it, and I'm having fun. Big thing for me this week has been to secure a minivan. That's something personal where I'm just trying to figure out ways to own a minivan because I was basking in the life of luxury for a week when I rented one, and I can't go back to a regular sedan anymore. I got kids, and it's just way easier. So I've been doing that a lot too. I've just been trying to find a minivan, and I've never been one of those people that really cared about what I drove, as long as it actually got me from point A to point B. So I guess I still feel the same way because I'm gonna be pulling up in that mug at professional events with that minivan on. No lie. So it's just like, you know, I don't really care. I just know that it's useful and functional for me. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. So that's what I've been trying to work through as well this past week, and I've been doing a lot of research, making sure I can, you know, the cost effectiveness, affordability, depreciation of the vehicle. I am pretty much dissecting this piece by piece until I come up on top with the best purchase because, yeah, the market right now for used vehicles is ridiculous. I'm not buying new. And that's just a point for anybody out there that ever wants to buy a car. Never buy new unless you really just want that vehicle and you're probably going to drive that for the rest of your life. But for me, new just means I am paying a premium for something I can get later down the line, and it's not really it's not that really expensive because, you know, it's something come down the line that's going to be better and more efficient, and you're just going to keep wasting money. So that's just a tidbit for me. Is that tidbit for me is that, you know, just buy a used 2-3 year old vehicle. You'll always feel better. Unless you're leasing, then that's fine. Whatever. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm playing. And let's get into the stuff. Let me see. First off, let's go with the PlayStation Showcase. I know that's on everybody's mind. It's on my mind. It's as of recording, this will be right before. So you guys will get it on Wednesday, but we'll be recording it on Tuesday. So we're going to drop this, but we're not going to have seen the showcase, obviously. The showcase happens tomorrow, I believe at 5, if I'm not mistaken. It might be a little bit earlier. But yeah, there are some leaks going around. Should we trust it? Possibly. I think a lot of the people have already confirmed the Metal Gear Solid remake, which I think it's Metal Gear Solid 3, right, Josh? Am I mistaken in that?
No, you're right.
Yeah, it's Metal Gear Solid 3. And yeah, so I mean, I don't know. A lot of people are kind of up in arms saying that because Kojima isn't there anymore, it might not be done justice. But honestly, how can you? I mean, you can mess up a remake, I suppose. So, I never played the first one. I mean, I never played the original one, so I don't really have any stake in this at all. I'm just okay with it being upgraded because I have tried to play Metal Gear Solid 3 recently, and I haven't been able to get through it. Not because it's not enjoyable, but because it's like I don't know. I got plenty of other games to play, and it's kind of outdated, so I just don't want to play it. It's not that important for me to play that game at this point.
It is outdated. I was literally trying to play it, and I'm like, bro, this camera, and I have to go get what is it? Substance or not subsistence? Like the little edited version of the game, and I'm still like, I mean, I can't play this still. Like, I mean, I can, but it's just the amount of time and energy that it takes to play it and knowing how dated it is and stuff like that. I'm like, I thought MGS4 was bad at the time I had played it, but this one takes the cake. Like, I'm like, bro, I just wait till they re-release the game. So
yeah. So they're going to be doing a remake on it, and that's kind of already been confirmed. I expect it to happen, but I mean, it's not been already confirmed, but it's been a lot of people. Well, a lot of the big individuals in the leaking community have already stated these things and have confirmed with each other that it will be there, but you never know. Now, there's been this list going around, and I'm going to kind of go through it real quick so you guys can have an understanding of everything I'm thinking is going to show up, which may not, but this is what they're kind of going based off of and saying what might be there. So it is going to have a new Ghost of Kamakura. I don't know what that is. It's Sucker Punch. It's a new Ghost of Tsushima second version. Helldivers 2, which I don't know how that's a big deal, but Helldivers 2. Marvel Spider-Man 2, Dark Side by Santa Monica Studios, which nobody knows what that is. Is that an actual Dark Side, as in like Dark Side from the
No, it ain't no DC Dark Side.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't. Why would they make a Dark Side game?
I have no idea. Santa Monica Studio next game being Dark Side sounds ridiculous to me. Ghost of Tale 2. They have Dishwasher Collection. I don't know what that is. Goodbye Volcano High. Don't know what that is. Darkest Dungeon 2. Red Hook Studios, which, I mean, that game has been in beta. It hasn't been like on Steam for a while.
It just came out officially. It's been in early access.
Gotcha. Which I don't really see how Darkest Dungeon 2 would need to get space on this stage, but okay. Hades 2, that was already showcased at Microsoft's thing, so I'm not sure why that would be here as well. Stellar Blade, that's the new PlayStation 5 exclusive with the girl with the buns. I don't really know much else about the game. She seems as if it's more going on along the lines of action RPG, but I didn't see much RPG elements, so I'm assuming it's more like Devil May Cry, Bayonetta style gameplay. But it seemed a little clunky as I was watching it, but hopefully they have, upgraded and made it better. But right now, it just seemed like fan service game, to be honest. I didn't see nothing spectacular about it. All I saw was that they included voiceovers in that game now. That kind of tells me that maybe they're going to have a little bit more of a budget behind it. And they actually had, voice acting. DS2, which is Death Stranding 2 from Kojima. Half-Life Alyx. Now, that's a cool thing for the PSVR 2. That was to come to there. It's another accessible way to play that game, which is a really good game in its own right. PSVR 2 is just very much so an expensive accessory in a recession. Nobody wants to pay for that right now. Astro's Conquest, PSVR 2 exclusive. Disney Domination, Square Enix. Is that more fun? Is that more? Is that more Kingdom Hearts? What is that?
No, that's one of the kids games. Like they had Disney Mario Kart that came out a couple years ago.
Oh, Square Enix doing them? Okay, that's interesting. They got Mortal Kombat, Final Fantasy Rebirth, Silent Hill 2, Snake Eater Subsequent. That's the game I was talking about where they was going to be remaking.
MGS3 remake, yeah.
Yeah. Resident Evil 4 VR, Pragmata, which is Capcom. I don't know what that is. I think that's the game where we saw him in space and the girl. I think that was that one game, right? Or am I tripping?
Yeah, it's some sort of weird. It looks like kind of like Death Stranding, where it's some sort of space thing, but it's not about space. It's like aliens and time travel and stuff like that.
Last
but
of
they
Us
haven't actually showed anything. Yeah,
mm-hmm. Last of Us Factions, and then my most interesting one is Twisted Metal, which I can see how this could be potentially the list. I don't know though. Let's talk about it. Snake Eater Subsequent. Is that a selling point for you guys to buy a PS5?
I want to say a selling point.
I mean, I'll be honest, no, because MGS3 is considered one of the best MGS games because of the story. The story is just pretty straightforward. You don't need to know all the backstory. It just introduces you all the characters, goes through a nice story, and then ends pretty well. It has a really good ending. the gameplay is whatever. Like it's in between 2 and 4. So some people like it, but it has issues. I don't think it needs a. I mean, like it's popular, so it needs to sell more copies. But like I know y'all had issues with it, but you just play for the story. It don't matter about the gameplay. So personally, I'm not gonna spend $70 on the same story that I've already played because the story is already really good. I now don't need to see it at a high resolution. That's my view on it. Same thing with Last of Us, same thing with everything else.
What
That being
about
said, people haven't played it. Still a good game. I think as long as they just update the graphics and like maybe they re-record the voice acting or whatever, they don't need Kojima. But at that point, I don't see it actually being a different game. It's just basically a super HD port.
What about
and they just need to fix the controls a little bit, then I'll be good.
What about Ghost of Tsushima 2?
Nope.
I ain't even.
What about Marvel Spider-Man 2?
Spider who? Nah, just one.
I figured this list wasn't going to do well with y'all, obviously, because it's not really anything on here.
Ghost of Tsushima, it's interesting. I'll check it out because I didn't hate the game. I just thought it's kind of like
well, we're not talking about if you like hate or like a game. It's more about will any of these move consoles. That's what my question was.
All of them will move consoles. People will eat this stuff up. They're all gonna be the top sellers when they come out. That always happens.
Okay, well, I guess
I don't think them standalone gonna move consoles. I mean, they can potentially, but I think the lineup itself be like, all right, we got some
stuff coming.
I can invest in a PS5 because I know I can at least get 3 games or something like that. You know what I mean? Versus just getting one.
Okay. I honestly, I don't know. I mean, I'm particularly not interested in a lot of this outside of Ghost of Tsushima, and honestly, I'm not that interested in Marvel anymore or Spider-Man anymore. I really rather play Wolverine. But Darkseid seems like something that may be intriguing. I don't know what it is right now. Final Fantasy Rebirth being a PS5 launch exclusive, that's going to make me buy it regardless. But it's not like a seller for me either because I can wait. I can wait on a lot of stuff now. So I guess it's not I guess I got to take myself out of the equation and just kind of ask whether or not this lineup seems good. And yes, I can say yes, it does. A lot of this stuff we kind of already knew about, but maybe Killzone has some type of expansive thing. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not disappointed per se. I'm just more so like, and again, this is all hypothetical, people. This is not like this is the list. It's just more so it can be the list really. And I don't really see it moving nothing for me. It's supposed to be like an hour or something. Understandably so. I already own a PS5, so they already received my monies. But honestly, if I was to see this, I wouldn't go out and buy one. And that's why I was asking you guys, do you think it's a console mover? But it's more for, I guess if I'm thinking of it like that, I can't say it you guys because you guys have already decided on a lot of games that you're not, like a lot of games don't really truly interest you. I guess I was just asking you, Josh, would this lineup help you make your decision to buy one?
I mean, no, because it's a sequel to all of the PlayStation franchises, and if the PlayStation franchises haven't got you in, then it's not going to do that. But I think as far as like titles, it does have a lot of exclusives, and it has a lot of, they're all going to be really big, good AAA exclusives. So it is worth it in that sense that you might see a game that just looks so cool. I didn't play Ghost of Tsushima 1, but the second one just looks great, so I'm gonna get it. So it is a good lineup as far as like it has quality, but it's not an exciting lineup for me because it's nothing. I guess I want to see new stuff or stuff I haven't seen in a long time. So outside of Final Fantasy, like just because it's a continuation of the story that I want to see, the other games I don't necessarily need more Ghost of Tsushima. You know, I got my fill, and yeah, Death Stranding. I haven't even played the first one, but I guess I don't know if people are excited for that either. So I don't know.
I'm not excited for it, but I'll play it. I mean, it's just more so about now. It's all about timing for me. I mean, I feel like a lot of these games I would interested in playing at some point in my life, but right now it just feels like it's like they have to be great or nothing. And like Spider-Man 2 is great, but it's not like I gotta play it to know what it is. It's gonna be a great storyline. It's gonna have some nice set pieces, and it's gonna have combat. Like I don't need to play it to know what I'm gonna already be served. So, Dark Side is the most interesting for me, and that's why I'm kind of frustrated with Xbox because they have the most mystery right now, and they don't even know how to make a good game, in my opinion, yet. So again, this lineup isn't bad. If we were going hypothetically, if this is what they were going to show, I would not leave it. I wouldn't leave this unsatisfied. I would leave it just content with my purchase, and more than likely I would skip more than 67%, maybe like 70% of it, which is fine. But that it is what it is. Any thoughts on something that you don't see on here that you guys wanted to see? Anything like that?
Final Fantasy. What is
but
it?
They
Rebirth?
Already did like a bunch of those. G.
I'm playing, bro. I'm playing.
I was like, what the heck? I don't know. I know I just seen 48 minutes of nothing but pure Final Fantasy. I'm glad they took it out of there. I'm like, get that out of here. I don't want to see it no more. And
Man, we ready for part 2.
It looks super polished, Josh. Like the last little stuff I seen, like the first few hours, the footage they were capturing. Nah, that little water was sketch on IGN. They didn't have they didn't have the water effects on, so that boy was just gliding across that steel water. I was like, fix that. But everything else, the showcase and how it shows, it looks like it's optimized pretty good, and it just looks like a big spectacle. Like a lot of the bigger, larger than life. Like it did when he said it. It reminds me of God of War and how you used to have those larger than life fights, and it just seemed like ridiculous that you were taking this thing on. So I am looking forward to Final Fantasy for those reasons. But
well, I was talking about part 2, the Rebirth.
Rebirth.
Oh, yeah.
You said Final Fantasy 7. They is gonna have Final Fantasy 7 there. At least I expect them to have it there. It's one of their launch exclusives. I wouldn't expect them not to. But okay, let's get this list out of our minds. What is a guaranteed game gonna be there?
Spider-Man.
Yep. I was thinking the same thing. Another guaranteed game I know is gonna be there. I'm really thinking something from Bungie, and that's what's gonna bring me to my next topic anyway. But I'm thinking something from Bungie. What do you think? No.
Yeah, they have their new IP they've been working on. I feel like it's probably too early.
You think they still making a lot of money from Destiny?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's still successful. People still I don't know if it's still getting growing. People saying Apex keep growing and stuff like that. But I think Destiny it has a big player base because there's still no other game like it. So it doesn't really have competition in that sense. Yeah,
I kind of don't want them to make money off that game. I kind of really want them to just leave it alone. I'm not saying that it's not a decent game. I'm just saying that it has fallen into so many gripes and problems that the last time I wanted to play it was Lightfall, and then the gameplay and the campaign came out. It was terrible. And people still, come back to it and still love it. And I'm just like, I'm kind of over giving them passes. I want something new. Destiny just has a bad taste in my mouth at this point, and I kind of want to play a Bungie game, but I don't want to play that one. So I'm looking forward to when they adjust and pivot. I'm not saying that they have to shut down Destiny. I probably will never do that, but not really interested in Destiny 3. I'm not interested in their new all their new expansions. I feel like they kind of shot themselves in the foot when they released Lightfall, and all that momentum, no matter how good the next one will be, it's kind of gone. So they needed to hit the reset button, in my opinion, and kind of get back to what made them great in the first place. Great storytelling, set pieces with sound gameplay. This whole repetitive, doing something more than once and repeating the same actions multiple times is just redundant. And at this point, you had a great run. You had a 10-year run almost, right? It's 10 years. They came out in 2013, or no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been 10 years. Yeah, you guys stop it. I mean, it's okay to let it go, but I think they want to do the League of Legends thing. I think they want to do the whole stick around thing. So we'll see. I'm kind of over it. Me personally. What about you, Jalen? You didn't mention a game that you thought would be there.
But you sound like a game.
That you guarantee, yeah, that might guarantee be there.
I was thinking Final Fantasy
7.
No, 16.
I wouldn't think Final Fantasy 16 would be at this showcase simply because they just put out a 30-minute thing about this Final Fantasy. They just did that like 2 weeks ago, so I wouldn't think that'd be there. But I do think Final Fantasy 7 will be there. Whether or not it's a snippet, whether or not we actually get a confirmed date. Did we get a confirmed date for that game yet? I don't think so.
7.
It's like holiday.
It's supposed to be this year, but not a hard.
I think we might get a confirmation date for Final Fantasy Rebirth. Yeah, that would be the only thing I could think of. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all I had on them. Anything else y'all want to add, include, outside of what we already discussed? Because, I mean, truly, I think they're going to be just fine. And
do you think they should separate the PlayStation VR content to like their own event?
Yeah.
No, because they probably don't have a lot because this thing isn't selling well. So, no. I think a lot of the stuff that they might have done previously is not going to be happening right now because it's not selling well. So they putting on an event for them alone. It sounds a little ridiculous.
They got to shove it down their throat.
Yeah, they probably going to get like 10 minutes, if not a little bit more, versus giving them 30 minutes or something like that. I mean, it does boost this up to make it be a little bit more, so it's like over an hour. So, I mean, it's a selling point for people to tune in. And then if people tune in, can see the graphical fidelity of it and see the coolness of it, they could possibly, recoup some of the losses. But to have their own dedicated PSVR 2 is just basically going to tell people not to watch. So, no, I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're a little smarter than that. But, yeah. But anything else before we move on?
No. Like you were saying, I'm probably gonna get a PS5 at some point. I feel like once I have 5 games, I know I got the 2 Final Fantasy games, maybe like God of War and something like that. But I guess I just want to see more new new IPs from PlayStation because they have a lot of studios that haven't put out stuff in a while. So I just want to see what they're doing. So maybe this Dark Side game might be something interesting, but just from the name alone, I can't get anything from it. So I don't know.
Yeah. And again, like I said, keep that caveat keep that in the back of your mind that this is all hypothetical, but we wanted to talk about something sustainable, and this list was sustainable in some way. But what about anything that you guys? What is the next big thing for Sony if it's not continuing with Marvel's success? I don't know. Honestly, I think that they're doing the rehash of all the great games like Silent Hill 2, Twisted Metal, and like their Metal Gear Solid. They're doing the rehashes of those, because it makes sense. Those are their best hits. But I'm trying to figure out like what is their next move after coming off of success of God of War, Horizon. You can't you have to have somebody else join in that space. You don't have to do it soon because you have great heads, but I wonder what that would look like for them. I mean, is it going to be this Dark Side? Which is interesting to me. It's kind of tough trying to introduce a new IP, and the last time they did it was what? Was it Ghost of Tsushima or was it Days Gone?
No, Days Gone came out before.
Okay. So it was Ghost. I mean, they have success. They know what they're doing. So I'm not going to say that they don't know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. I only see one thing on here I don't recognize. And then Lost Soul Aside. I don't know what that means though. And it's by Alti-Zero Games, so I got to get a little bit more information on that.
We've seen that before, and it's like the one guy made like a Devil May Cry game. It looked really good, but it's just a small team of people. And they
yeah, I know what you mean.
Maybe Korea or China? I forget.
Yeah, it was a game with the Louis Vuitton boots still. He was using the Final Fantasy engine, looked like. Okay. I know what you're talking about. So yeah, I mean, just having one on there is a little worrying, but we'll see. I mean, all they gotta do is showcase stuff. But I've known about this. I guess it's just the ones that are not getting me excited. I need to see the things that's going to keep me excited from here on out. And right now, none of that stuff is helping me feel a little bit confident. But they don't really need to do that right now. They have great games.
I mean, I played a new Jack game, Jack and Daxter, but that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. I mean, Jack and Dexter they might do that too. Sly Cooper. There's plenty of games that they have in their roster that they can try and like recreate and like make. So it's not like they don't have the ability to pull out some fun things. But Ratchet and Clank isn't one of their best selling games for a reason, because it's in that space of kiddish, but also like they really do the technology well. So I don't know if they're gonna make Insomniac do another one of those. They just Insomniac are already working to the brink. So I don't know. But we'll see. I'm just confident in their ability to produce good games. I'm confident in that. So if we gotta wait a little longer, that's fine. I got plenty to play. But I would love to see this showcase show me the true next and great. So that way I can feel confident that I'm going to be having something to look forward to. And it kind of puts more fire under Xbox's belly to make a good game for once. So it's just those types of things that I'm looking for here. And right now I don't see any needle movers, but I do see sustaining a level of success that they already have. So that's good. Okay, well, let's move on. Zelda. We all played it. We all loved it. Anything to report back to Nintendo? I got plenty, but anything that you guys want to mention or state about Zelda, maybe even negative. Anything good? Anything great? Anything bad in between? I don't want to. I don't want to keep beating the same things over and over again. But there are some issues. So, I guess um, anything before we get started in that, and like I kind of go on my spiel. Anything good about anything great that you want to kind of mention before Zelda?
Yeah, I got some good and bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, the game is really good.
Mhm.
I was worried that when it came out, it would just be, I guess, feel like just DLC or just more
Mhm.
Breath of the Wild. And it kind of is. Like, it is. You're in the same world, so a lot of the places are similar. They've
Mhm.
been changed up a bit, so it's not exactly like the same, but it's cool, I guess, to go back to the same world and have that memory and see how things have changed. And the
Yeah.
gameplay additions are really fun. Like I like all the new abilities and just the freedom that it gives you to like do everything. Um, and I guess I forgot how big the world was, and they've made it bigger. Like
Mhm.
I just did the sky area and like climbing all the way up to the sky and like took forever. I didn't even think it was like this area was that big. Um,
Yeah.
uh, but otherwise, yeah, it's. Oh, my bad. That was Siri.
She said, "What up,
It's more
though? What up, though?" He got that Detroit
more Breath of
version.
the Wild. Um, Definitely one of the best games Nintendo's put out in a long time, and for a
Mhm.
lot of stuff, I think it is better so far than Breath of the Wild. But I have to, keep playing to actually see. But so far, I'm liking it more. I can see like it having longer legs or more life to it. Stuff I don't like is so it is their first $70 game, and they have
Mhm.
worked on it for 5 years. But I have
Mhm.
noticed some things don't feel like as polished as I feel like they should be.
Yeah.
Like the flashback cutscenes are cool, but I wish they still would have put it together in a like clear story. You can find it in
Mhm.
any order, and which is fine. But depending on which order you find the cutscenes in, the story is going to be like confusing. Like you can find the last cutscene like the first time that you run into those paintings on the ground, and
The
it's like,
tears. Yeah. Find the tears.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that really just makes the story confusing until you get to the end of the game, and that just doesn't feel good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
um and then two, like I'm cool with the voice acting, but
Mhm.
the characters are still pretty stiff in the cutscenes, and the NPCs are still, don't have voices and stuff like that, which is not necessary, but I was expecting them to, I guess, really push the envelope in all areas. Like they really pushed it in the gameplay, but a lot of the other stuff they didn't push it past what they
Already
normally do.
did. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess the last thing is just personal preference. Like I've played pretty much every 3D Zelda game, and I like a lot of the new ideas that they have in this franchise, Breath of the Wild, and they've already said they're going to continue
Mhm.
like the powers and stuff like that. But I feel like so far how to put it, you don't get a lot of new items in these games. Like in the old ones, you get like you get a new bow, and the bow can shoot lightning, or the
Yeah.
bow can use the wind and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff comes from other stuff. Like you have your partners in this game. Your partner will have his abilities. But anyways, I missed the old Zeldas where it had like a dungeon where you go in, you get the power, you use the power, and like it felt really well designed around that particular power. Now everything
Mm.
in Breath of the Wild is not Breath of the Wild, but Tears of the Kingdom is spread out across all the different shrines, but this kind of like dilutes their importance because it's just like 200 of them.
Yeah.
And
So.
the last thing is the dungeon. I know that they were saying that they have classic Zelda dungeons and not just the Divine Beast, but I've only done one so far. But so far, it doesn't feel like a classic dungeon. It's the the Sky Temple, whatever, was a small area, and the boss was short, and it felt like it was just another Divine Beast and not really a Zelda dungeon, which like we played Elden Ring recently, and like Elden Ring, it has like we went to the capital and it's a whole big city and it's a whole bunch of areas to explore. The old Zelda games had that where this is a big area for you to explore, but now the dungeons are just like a couple rooms and then a boss, which
Yeah.
it was disappointing. Not to say it's bad, and overall it's still a little improvement probably over the Divine Beast, but it's still a lot more room for improvement in my opinion.
Yeah. I can agree with that as well. I think there's a lot of things I really love about it, and then there's a lot of things that I'm just like, why? So I mean, mine's is always quality of life stuff, having to pull out and take out each item for you to cook. I hate it. I think it's like mundane. I don't really see the benefit of it. I feel like they were doing things to kind of make it unfun to play, and so some of those things I kind of get annoyed by. I still don't. I still have a gripe with the durability and not being able to. And I think there's a solution to a little bit of my problem, but so I don't want to say it yet. But just some of those things that are just quality of life that just needs to be ironed out. I truly think that would make the game significantly better. Some of the controls feel clunky, or there's multiple things attached to one button. As you were stating, you can use things, but that thing can be used if you standing next to one thing or standing next to another. So it just seems like, okay, this is really clunky at this point. And imagine running around with multiples of those. It just kind of seems like, I don't know if this was the best design choice, as in how these powers are being used. But it's still a great game. I don't want to be a negative Nancy. The only things I don't like is the frame rate, and two, the resolution. It diminishes from the beauty of the game. But outside of that, I'm all hands in, and it's just kind of like only things I can think about that really make me upset is truly just the quality of life things that I just like, okay, this needs to be fixed. Why is this still the same? But everything else, and I guess I'm kind of critiquing it more now because it's $70. So if it wasn't $70, I probably wouldn't be like, okay, it's fine. But because it's $70, I have to put it into that category of how I would treat another $70 game. Like Callisto Protocol, everybody hated it for lack of storytelling, but this game has the same thing. But at least they pushed the ante on graphics. This game is pushing the ante on gameplay, but it is lacking in every other sense. Like there's the gameplay, there's the world, and then there's everything else. There's the combat, atrocious. And it's worse than, Callisto's Protocol's little wave back and forth. Like, I don't think people are really understanding that all you're doing is switching out items, but you do the same moves. You don't change your moves. You don't do anything different.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, I feel like the older Zelda games have better combat, but this has more freedom where you can do anything, which is cool. But the actual like hitting people with your sword is kind of like basic.
It is super basic. It's one move, and you only can do a jump, and you can side swipe and jump and side jump to the sides, but it's worse than Callisto's, and I guess people are going to give it a pass because it's Zelda. I am of that same cloth, unfortunately, because I'm going to give it a pass, and I still think it's like a 9, 8.5 out of 10. I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10 because there's plenty of things to be improved on. But because of the gameplay and how interesting and expansive the world is and how much you can truly do in it and manipulate the world, like there's like 20 solutions to one problem. Every step of the way. So that means that they really had to think about how to break and unbreak this game multiple times before they shipped it. And it's just fun to just mess around in a world and figure out things. So I have to commend them on that, but I also don't want to overlook the issues. So there are
with it being a sequel to Breath of the Wild, one of the most successful games ever, you just expect some improvements, and they made a lot of improvements in a lot of areas. And like combat is one where I feel like, oh, they didn't change anything. I
No,
mean,
they
other
didn't.
than like you have more items to play with, but the combat itself is still the same.
Yep. And then the movement and using items to play with is clunky as well. So it's just a lot to like, okay, you gave me a bunch of freedom, but you also provided a bunch of UI changes that don't fit well with my experience that are just like, this ain't right. So it's a lot of that. So but good thing is that it's a great game on top of it. It's a great game on top of all those problems, and you really can't find this type of experience a lot of places. And you know, being being in that cloth of just such unique and expansive world where everything has like some physical elements to it that you can truly go in and damage stuff and break stuff and put it back together. You got the rewind system. Not saying that that's the best, because that one's clunky too. You run across the thing and you can't get to it now because it's so far away. So it's just a lot of those things, but all in all, they did a great job of creating a fun and adaptive world. Just wish they would have provided those same elements to a lot of different things as well. And when you have such a big world that is so adapting, I guess it's not hard for you to feel like, okay, that's enough, which it is enough to me. So I'm going to keep playing it. I'm going to continue to enjoy it. And I think that is one of those games that are probably going to sweep when it comes to awards. I think Jedi Survivor did a lot of things cool, but I haven't finished it because I am kind of being distracted by Zelda. That's the preferred game to play right now, because it just makes me want to use my imagination way more than the other game could ever. So, not saying that they don't have, better graphics or better storytelling or better cinematics or whatever the case may be, but this game, Zelda, it makes me want to use my brain more. It makes me want to think through problems, and it makes solving problems the key part of the game. It's like that is the key of it. Solving issues that you kind of come face to face with and giving you the tools to do so. So it's just so enjoyable on that front that it doesn't really matter that they are, sub 900p almost 80% of the time. Not probably 90% of the time. So yeah. What about you, Jalen? I know you played a little bit of it. I don't know if you're that interested in playing it, or if it's more so you playing it because you played the first one. Tell the people your thoughts.
I mean, like, I liked it the first one, so I really wanted to play the second one. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's just, I guess, the same thing. It's always a time constraint. And I mean, I really want to, like I said it before, I want to be Elden Ring before I like really delve into it.
Yeah.
So that's one, stipulate or caveat or whatever you want to call it. But the other aspect is the time constraint. And is it like, am I going to get that much out of playing the game? Because like Josh said, it's not like it's story driven. Or no, you said it. It's not story driven. It's like, you literally playing it for like the gameplay of it, and I kind of wonder how much I'm gonna get out of it versus being immersed in like a story or something like that in a game. I'm sure I'm gonna have fun and like enjoy it and things like that. But if it's gonna be a lot of the similar, Breath of the Wild stuff, and based on the things I've seen about the game, it don't seem like it's gonna be, you doing new moves or anything like that. I mean, Breath of the Wild was literally, you get different weapons, 3-hit combos. I mean, you kind of change a little bit, but it wasn't any like new abilities or anything that made the game interesting. And I mean, like, listening to what y'all are saying about the game, like versus comparing to the old Zelda games. I ain't really played much of an old Zelda game, but I used to be appreciative when I, you finish a dungeon, but I can do this now or this or that. And when I think about Breath of the Wild, I ain't gonna say the game was bare bones, but it was just kind of like the world was cool. Like that was kind of the best part about it, because you get to some areas, you find some secret areas, you get the Master Sword and stuff. Arguably, it ain't really other weapons that you really should be using. I mean, obviously, you get some weapons stronger, but well-rounded versatility, stuff like that, the Master Sword, the best one, because the durability is a big thing, like you had mentioned in the game. You still got your same 3-hit combos. You get Rivali's Gale. I can jump higher. I can make lightning come out with the Garuda's Wrath or whatever. But it's like, aside from that, like, it wasn't that much. It wasn't. I guess you could really play the game like this, right? It wasn't nothing stopping you from going to the end of the game. Besides, well, I want more abilities, or not even abilities for real. Like, you want the 4 Divine Beast thing. Like, yeah, I'm gonna just call them abilities. And I need more hearts, like, and then better weapons or something like that I can arguably get from somebody else. If I go, take down that enemy at a later point in the game, I can get a stronger weapon. Other than that, I mean, you just have to be self-compelled to explore the world and want to go get those abilities, or the 4 abilities from the Divine Beast, and kind of really explore the world. That was like the biggest driving factor.
The abilities were, for me, more convenient, and they didn't like actually change the game because you didn't need them to beat the game. And if you don't want to explore, you don't have to. And I guess that's kind of my thing in this game, where it's like, what's stopping me from just doing only the main quest stuff? Like, I don't have to do these side quests, but I've been trying to do them just to explore. And I mean, they end up being interesting, but like, I don't have to do them. So and the game is just so big, and like, I see shrines everywhere. I'm like, I'm not doing this shrine. I'm about to skip these next 3 shrines, and I'm only going to do the ones just so I can have the teleport fastest travel point. But I don't actually care about doing the shrine for the upgrades.
and that's the thing. Like, Elden Ring makes a difference with what you do. And that's why I ain't been doing the most exploring, but I still have been like, hold on, let me go over this area. I play this fashion, so it's like, I'm not going to be doing the most and trying to min-max everything and trying to set certain builds and stuff. I'm going to just get what I want, but it's still cool to at least go over and at least see, like, is this something that I want to use? Can I see myself using this? Let me see this area. I'll look at these type of enemies, this, that, and the third, versus, like, I'm not down in Zelda or anything like that, but okay, well, I'm finna go over and fight another Macabre one or whatever. Like, they gonna have some of these different enemies. Okay, they got some Guardians over here. Like, I used to find enjoyment fighting the Guardians on Breath of the Wild because they was like a different enemy, and it was like a skill-based thing that I had to achieve. Basically, I need to be able to reflect those things and take them out, and I had to use my mind a little bit in order to take them out. So that was kind of fun to do. But fighting Macabre ones or Magoat, whatever you call them things, they wasn't that interesting. And when you get Garuda's, like, the little lightning thing, it was just kind of like, all right, I can do that too. Like, it ain't, I don't know. You just have to be self-compelled to explore the world. And literally with Breath of the Wild, like, I said I was going to go back and play it, but I'm like, what am I going to play? Well, I'm like, well, I do kind of want to explore the world and see what other things and complete the map at least. Like, that was my biggest motivation, but I was in a different space in 2017. Right now, you know what I'm saying, I got a full-time job and stuff, so I'm like, I'm literally playing the game to play the story, get a little bit of the gameplay and stuff like that, versus Elden Ring. I'm like, I'm playing with y'all, and I don't mean to compare it to a game, but I'm playing with y'all. I can explore. The bosses are pretty interesting. It's a full world, if you will. So, because in hindsight, Breath of the Wild world, I ain't gonna say it was bare. It had things going on with it, but it wasn't like. At times I felt like it wasn't a lot going on, and just going into another area to see some wolves, they'd be like, look, man, we ain't gonna mess with you. then they sneak and you kill one of their boys, you're like, man, we were just playing, bro, chill on us, you know what I'm saying? Now they want to run away, like, so that versus, you seeing all types of crazy things and random bosses and stuff pop up or whatever, like, more so in Stinking Ring is like, all right, that's a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. No, I agree there. I mean, it's not like I guess what you would call it is that they definitely get a Nintendo break because of just how the sheer amount of game it is on that console. If it was like on a more powerful console, it really probably wouldn't have been received the same way. But because it is on that council and the amount of stuff that is happening, it just feels like they push that thing to its limits. And that limit is based off of Nintendo Switch's limit, not the norm for society when it comes to gaming now. Like, nobody is thinking like Apex Legends is pushing any limits. They want more, actually. So it's like those types of things where the normalcy of what they provide you and what we already expect from the world is not equal. So I mean that we just have to deal with that though anyway. So, but overall, people, I don't want to keep going on with Zelda. We want to move on, but overall, Zelda is a great game. Do I think it's worth $69.99? Yes, to a degree. But I feel like that is just an upcharge that they are charging you for, to continue to provide. I don't know. It's not like they added more value to me. I think it's just more so they did a really good job on creating a fun experience that they can get that extra money out of me at this point. But it's just more so understanding if you're going to be interested in this game in any way, shape, or form, don't expect them to reinvent the wheel. They are more so providing like a much better adaptation of Breath of the Wild. So if you didn't like Breath of the Wild, you're probably not gonna like this one either. That's just simple as that to me. I love Breath of the Wild and I love this one, but on top of that, I love all the new things they added, minus the unfortunate quality of life things they haven't changed. Okay, well, anything else on that before we wrap up and move on to the next topic? All right, cool beans. Little Mermaid. Who's going to see it? Who's going to see Haley? Who's going to support our Black Queens? Go ahead.
Huh?
No,
I said who's supporting our Black Queens, man.
I didn't even see the original Little Mermaid. I got the synopsis from that Kingdom Hearts 10 times.
I got into an argument with my wife about that. Like, she got mad at me because I said I didn't watch that. I grew up in a household with a black dad. I was not watching Little Mermaid. If anything, he was giving it to my sister. But I was watching Lion King, Hercules, things like that. I was never watching Little Mermaid. And she felt like that was so bizarre. I'm like, bruh, I was watching Major Pain. Like, I was watching movies I shouldn't have been watching with my dad. So I didn't have, like, the Little Mermaid Pocahontas experience. And she got so, I don't know, offended. I was like, why would you get offended because I never seen Little Mermaid? It doesn't make sense for me to watch that. At that time, in that sense. Now, it doesn't matter. But at that time, like, that is not what they expected boys to watch. So, they did not show it. And if they did show it to my sister, I would zone out because my thought process is, oh, it's a princess. I don't need to watch this one. The only one I ever watched was Cinderella, and that was simply because of Brandy and knowing who she was. And, like, I watched the black one with Whitney Houston. That was it. I never even watched the one that was originally for them. I did watch Sleeping Beauty because that was because of the dragon. And I like the dragons. I never watched any of those movies. So I was just like, why do you think I was watching those movies? I don't really understand.
Them movies was boring. Or I ain't gonna say they was boring, but like when them movies are like be trying to play, I'm like, man, I ain't trying to watch this, bro. I'm trying to watch Digimon, bro. Like,
yeah.
Well, I ain't trying to see. I ain't trying to see Aladdin. You know what I'm saying? Even Aladdin and stuff like that. I got all my stuff. From Kingdom Hearts. The only thing I know about Little Mermaid when they be singing when she was like, I've got gadgets and gizmos plenty. I'm like, man, they smacking.
I like, bro, I never watched that movie, dude. So yeah, it wasn't a full-fledged argument, but she was like disgusted. I'm like, what you disgusted about? I don't never seen it. You know what happened? She was on the stupid internet, and the dude that Haley to go with, what's his name? DDG. He said he never saw it. He just watched the first one before he can support his girl and go to the next one. I said, okay, what's the problem? He always doing something right before. I like, bro, what did he do? I never seen Little Mermaid. He just said he saw it. So it was just that. And I think I got some heat because I don't think she liked DDG or whoever that guy is. I don't think she like him. So
wait, what? So how did that? Wait, hold on. How did that relate to you?
I have no idea. I guess because I was defending him in a way. I was like, I never seen it. And she was like, okay, but you ain't saying it right now while I'm at the premiere trying to do my thing. I was like, why does it matter? Only reason it matters is because y'all brung it up. Nobody cares that he never saw Little Mermaid, but y'all, because y'all brought it up. Like, nobody cares. So it was just weird. And I guess
then you got to think about accessibility too, bro. Like, it wasn't a DVR era back then when we was growing up. You had to catch that mug on Disney whenever they showed it. Probably when we was at school, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it wasn't like nobody was going out buying Little Mermaid on VCR. It was just like, you know, those movies weren't, I don't know, they were like really
accessible.
They weren't accessible enough, in my opinion, at least from because once I really started to like be able to understand movies, it was the VCR era. And some of you guys probably don't even know what that is, but the VCR era is where I started to watch like the Rugrats and stuff like that.
The orange tapes,
boys used to go crazy. And then I got into, you know, I know we had the Power Rangers, but it was like stuff that was on TV because we didn't have cable for a minute. I remember that. And we used to watch movies that he would buy. Like, I remember him buying Monsters, Inc. for us and Toy Story. And, it was not like, you know, we just was like, oh, let me go pick up every Disney movie and just watch something because we want to watch it. No, it was literally we would find a movie or we would go to the library and sometimes even check out movies. Right. But I never did that because, why did we never go to the library? Our library was too far. That was the thing. I think, I had friends that were closer that could go to the library and walk. We couldn't walk to the library. We had to actually drive, and that was money. So, no, never happened.
And I was one of them weird kids. When I go to the library and get a movie, I'm like, I already got this Sonic movie. I'm going to check it in and check it back out and go back and watch it again. I don't know how many times I've seen that metal Sonic movie. I'm like, man, this movie sick, bro. I'm gonna watch it again. Like, you know, you give you 7 days. You be like, look, man, go y'all movie. I want to check it back out and watch it again. That Sonic movie. I'm like, man.
Oh my god, this got funny.
Hey, y'all see my old characteristics? They ain't changed, man. I'm still doing the same thing, bro. But
rewatch Dragon Ball. Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you. Just real quick. You ever not destroy one of your tapes, but accidentally overwrite one of your tapes by recording something?
Yeah.
They'll be like, hey, man, I ruined my movie.
It's something come on halfway through and then cut back off. It'll be like, bro, what happened? You'll be like, nah, man, you just got a little bit of that Marty Mar. You got a little bit of that Marty Mar in the middle.
Get a little bit of Dragon Ball Z clip and go back to Rugrats.
No, that joke was so funny. Yeah, that used to happen.
Yeah. No, I hear people like the new movie. I personally, I'm not interested in the live action Disney stuff. Like,
you got to support our Black Queens. What you talking about, man? No, man. Everybody got to go see.
But for that movie, I don't like the Little Mermaid. And I don't like I used to like Pocahontas because they like the songs were really good, but like watching it was like, oh, this is a weird story, and like I don't know if I want like my kids to be watching it. Same thing with Little Mermaid, where it's like, oh yeah, the whole story is this girl, she just wanna become human to get this white dude and live with him. I don't know if I want my daughter watching that.
Then was she going against her dad and stuff too? With the gadgets and gizmos,
she was watching him from the water, and she was interested, want to meet him, but she can't meet him because she's a fish girl. So
fish girl
to become human and hang out with this dude. And it's like, I don't know if that's the message I want.
She did lose her voice, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she lost her voice, but she got legs.
Man, what?
That was enough for him to like her.
Yeah, man. Anyways, we like I said, it ain't about that right now. It's about supporting our Black
man. What? How you gonna sell your voice for some legs? You not know the power of the tongue? But I was just like, all right, I'm back.
You know this Dr. Umar?
Black brothers and sisters, thou shalt not serve. Oh, never mind. We start. I almost said something. I ain't gonna say it's inappropriate, but it's probably not the most best term to use. So, for some legs.
Oh my god! All right, well, if you want to check out Little Mermaid, it come out this weekend. I was probably gonna go see it, but I don't know if I'm gonna go see it or am I gonna watch it on Disney Plus because it's just hard getting out the house. Like I said, I was trying to watch Dungeons and Dragons, fell asleep in the theater, and then had to end up watching it on Paramount Plus when I could have just waited and watched it on Paramount Plus and saved my $14 that I spent. So I might do the same thing. A lot of movies are coming out a lot faster too, so that's good. But I don't know. I like the movie theater experience. I just ain't got the time no more. So it's unfortunate. Let's move on. 4060 Ti. What do we think? Do you?
Oh, they're like $299, right?
Yeah, they're $299, $399 for that one, the 4060 Ti, or is it $399 for the 816 gig one, and the 4060 Ti regular is $299. I think I gotta double check the pricing. But is it good that they're making a budget one? You get DLSS 3. What you think?
Yeah, it's weird because we talked about it a little before where the quality is there, but since the prices are also, since they have such a big price range of different products, you might also be better served just throw an extra $100 in your budget and get something bigger.
Yeah.
But $299 is still a really good price. It's just, I don't know, like the PC build community is one where I don't know if it's worth it to get that, or like I said, just put a couple extra dollars in and get the upgraded version of the card. But that could be maybe they're not their main goal, since they have that 4060 in such a low price range. You can start seeing like cheaper like off the shelf PCs at stores, or like once they get it into their gaming laptop line, cheaper gaming laptops that have ray tracing and like DLSS performance and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, personally, I'm not in the market for it, but it's not bad that it's there, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's the good thing about just being able to have options, really. I don't think that this is the option that I would go for, to be honest. I would go probably something AMD. But at least there's something out there competing, and it has the entryway to DLSS 3. But it is a lot of drawbacks with this one, unfortunately. But and I really like the Linus Tech Tips review. It just came out not too long ago, like 5 hours ago. So if you guys want to check that out on the 4060 Ti, it probably give you a lot more information than I can regurgitate. But more overall, it's good to have new, cards at new entry levels. But it still seems like there is a massive hit on VRAM for like anything now. So like if you ain't got the VRAM, you ain't got above 8 gigs, it's probably going to be a problem. So paying that extra $100 for that kind of puts you in a space where it's like, okay, this isn't worth it. So I mean, they're pricing themselves a little too much out of that market, but at the same time they're giving you an option that's within that range. It's just not the best best option, especially for having like a long legs, basically. So, and you got the 3080 or the 4070?
I got the 3080.
3080. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm still in the market for something, but I don't really want to purchase that yet. I want to keep looking. Right now I'm in a Radeon 7. I've been in this thing for a very long time, and I don't really do much PC gaming, but I just want to be able to have some better encoding when it comes to video playback and things like that. So I'm looking for something. It's probably going to be NVIDIA. So I see. Not that though. I'll probably get something along the lines of the next generation of the of their more so mid-range cards. So, okay. Anything to add there, Jalen? You going to get into PC gaming?
Yeah, I got one on the way. Hold on.
That is false. But yeah. Okay.
Now how you gonna tell me what's false?
Because I know you. What you mean?
Man.
Easy peasy. If anything,
So
you got some shoes on the way. If anything, you got some shoes.
I only bought 2 pairs of shoes this year, believe it or not.
Yeah, I don't. We'll let you get it off.
Yeah, but I only bought 2 pairs of shoes this year. I got my Western Green ones and my Super.
Yeah, we let them get it off.
I got the money.
Okay. We let them get it off. Yeah. All right, Street Fighter Online Beta. I didn't play it, Josh. I wanted to watch the Digital Foundry breakdown, but I haven't been able to get around to it yet. What are your thoughts on the online gameplay?
So for the beta, first off, the UI in that game is terrible. The different menus and trying to navigate it, because you boot up the game and they got the main menu where you choose, I'm play single player, I'm play online, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go into like a separate screen, and then you pick what type of online do you want. Do you want, the lobby where you hang out? You want quick match, all that stuff. But anyways, for the beta, the lobby system was the only thing that was available. So if you remember in Dragon Ball Fighters, you have that little arena where everybody walk around and stuff like that. Kind of similar. You walk around in the arena. They have little like arcade cabinets where you can sit down, and somebody will sit down next to you and you'll fight them. Personally, I don't like that type of environment. Like, I just want to hit quick play. But it was cool at least that I got to sit down with a couple people that were better than me, but we kept playing more and more matches, and they let me like practice a little bit on them. I didn't like talk to them or anything like that, but it was more of like a casual environment. But the menus are confusing. Like, you press start, like kept trying to figure out how do I change my character. Like, I press start, it brings up my phone, and the phone is like just like basic stuff about the game, but it doesn't let me change my character. And then I press select. It's like, oh, you want to do all this other stuff, and instead I have to press Y while I'm standing still to open up a separate menu where I can customize my profile picture and stuff like that. But it also lets you choose your character.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so all that was annoying, but the actual gameplay, it was fun. I played it with the modern controls, like I was saying last time. It was actually pretty easy, where you just press one button for your super. Like, if you want to do a Hadouken, you just press like Y on the Xbox, or if you want to do like a different attack, you press forward and Y. That made it good. As far as lag, I didn't have any issues. I only had one issue with one person, where it was like we were fighting, it was going well, but then the game stopped and it said the lag is too high. Do you want to vote to like do a no contest or something like that? So if both people say yes, it'll just like end the match and nobody takes a loss.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it would. Last thing, I only played it for one day. The last day that it was up, I think it ended like yesterday or something like that. Because in order to play the beta, you have to link your Capcom account, and so I boot up the game, say link account, and it say failed, and I kept trying to do it. Turns out, if you had a Capcom account before, like last year, that doesn't count, because they switched over to a new Capcom ID, and all those old accounts are gone, so you have to redo it. And so like all this registering stuff just to let me play the game. That being said, I had much more fun than I thought I would. So I'm still on the fence about buying it, because it's a fighting game and I don't know how much time I can dedicate to it. But at least playing, like fighting people and getting into the lobby worked well. It was much better than what we had with like Guilty Gear. But
man, don't remind me. Oh my God. That's a bad headache thinking about that.
We played a lot of matches, but it took like a long time to set up, and like all the tutorials and stuff we had to do.
Guilty Gear wasn't the problem though. It was that Power Rangers that kept breaking.
Well, yeah, that one too. But Guilty Gear, It had like
That-
two like tutorials you had to do.
Yeah.
then it was like we couldn't watch each other in the
Oh
game.
yeah.
It was just like the weird readying up and just the process because they like will kick you out and then you had to go in, but you had to make sure the other person get in. Like I'm like, bro, this is dumb. At least Power Rangers just was just like, hey, bro, this ain't working. Just stop playing. Like just stop trying. Like we ain't even get there trying with Power Rangers, but Guilty Gear was just doing all this. Well, I can't watch your game again. Well, it ain't let me. Well, it kicked me out again. You readied up yet? They're showing you readied up. You ready to like? I'm like, bro, stop. Damn, my fingers is hurting. I'm like, bro, this is making it worse. I remember having sore thumbs and angry having a conniption, bro, because the game wouldn't let me watch y'all fight half the time because I missed a entry point or something. I don't know.
That's funny. But yeah, no, I get it. Having a great online is key in those games, and if you don't have it, it's an issue. So I agree. Okay, well, what about the Microsoft acquisition? They kind of got it to kick through completely outside of CMA, which I kind of expected them to do, but obviously now they have the U.S., China, and most of the bigger territories. I think a few is like left is like Australia, but the big territories are ready to go. So outside of the UK, because I think Europe did it, but not the UK yet, right? So
yeah, the European Union did.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I mean, I feel like this is going to pass at some point, right? This is probably going to be like another. I guess what's the timeline? I give it 2 months before they actually finish this all up and have it complete. But what does it really do for Microsoft? Nothing in regards to Xbox. I would say nothing for Xbox. A lot for Microsoft. Xbox right now is just in a bad space, and regardless of what you own. And the regulation that's going to come down on it anyway, it's not like they're going to really have a benefit for owning an Xbox from this acquisition. So the gamer aspect of it is not really like there. It's more of a business move. And maybe down the line they do start to pick away, but the value is truly in just owning Call of Duty and all of those IPs, but there's nothing like significant that's gonna be like, oh, now this boosts Xbox to this and they get this type of stuff. They might start doing exclusivity stuff again, but you never know. I don't know. Once this goes through, because I do think it's going to go through, what do you think? How do you think that changes the landscape? Do you think Sony does anything different? I don't think so.
I mean, yeah, it will help them because they'll have access to a lot of really big IPs that they can use down the line. Mm-hmm. And immediately they can just put a lot of that stuff available on like Game Pass and stuff. So having Call of Duty on Game Pass is cool. But yeah, it's more like a business move. I think it will bring them in a lot more revenue. Directly to Microsoft and Xbox, and Xbox players will just have more games to play if they haven't already played them. It's just that business stance, I guess, is just so scary to everybody else because that's taking money directly out of Sony's pocket, and whoever else, like Stadia is gone, but any other upcoming platform is taking money out of their pocket, so they want to fight it. Overall, I mean, I think it will go through, but like you said, they're gonna have to make a lot of deals and concessions to even get it going. So immediately, we're not gonna see like,
any significant benefit.
Like, yeah, next Call of Duty exclusive on Xbox, stuff like that. Like that's not gonna happen for a long time. But it puts them in a much better position where they have the leverage to throw around. And at some point they will.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say on this. I think it kind of speaks for itself. They're going to own a big company. It it seemed like they're not valuing the companies they already have. So I'm not really sure how significant it's going to be to kind of bolster up their other games. We'd have to see in the showcase and see what they've been doing. But honestly, I'm expecting to be disappointed, to be honest. So, and that's just the truth. Mortal Kombat 1 though. Mortal Kombat 1 was announced. Obviously, everybody kind of knew. Ed Boon kept on teasing it. We didn't see any gameplay. At least I don't think it was gameplay, but it looked really good. The CGI trailers. And it was very gory, very interesting. But I mean, is this the season of fighters, Josh? Is this where we're going to get all our fighters now?
New Fighter. Mortal Kombat and Tekken come out soon.
And I think I was thinking we were gonna get Injustice, but we're getting Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
because Mortal Kombat 11 came out after Injustice.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 11 was just 4 years ago.
Yeah, so it's weird that they just skipped over Injustice. But maybe they don't have like the licensing no more or something. But I don't think that's the case. It's interesting.
It's WB. They own NetherRealm.
Yeah, so I'm like, what the heck? I don't know. It's interesting. I would have thought they would have did like a whole bunch of more. I thought they would have kept that that pattern going, but guess not.
They might. I don't know, but they might be like just waiting for like Warner Brothers to figure out their overall
their new
plan,
brand.
See, and then try to line up. It's not gonna be the same story, but Superman is probably gonna look similar-ish to the whoever they pick for the new Superman, stuff like that.
Gotcha. Interesting. Okay, but yeah, Mortal Kombat. How we feeling? I don't know which one my favorite, to be honest. I don't know between Street Fighter, Tekken. No, Tekken is not in the running at this point. Because it fell out the running a while ago. But between Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, I don't know which one I like the most. It's really tough. But these are big, iconic games coming out this year. Like, so many things that, like, if they're going toe-to-toe at the award show, I want to watch the award show just because of all the good games that actually came out. So,
yeah. I think I like Street Fighter more, but Mortal Kombat is always more accessible and it offers more content for casual people. So I play Mortal Kombat for the story most of the time. Like they had 10 and 11, I guess 9 too, but had really good, like well produced stories, and it was interesting to see all the stuff that they're doing. And now Mortal Kombat 1 is going to continue that story and like kind of reset everything.
Yeah.
So on that aspect, I'm interested in seeing what they do with it. As far as like the gameplay and stuff, I don't know. Like they haven't shown anything. It's probably going to be very similar to 11, but it's going to have like assist characters. But I guess it's too early to tell because they haven't shown anything. The only thing I can kind of say is I'm kind of not disappointed on, but kind of confused about is like, so in the story they reset the timeline and everybody is like, it's gonna be changed, brand new universe, but all the characters are the same, and that was kind of confusing.
Yeah, I thought that they were going to kind of take some liberties and like how they transform a character, but it just seemed like everybody is basically has the same backstory. So I'm like, what was the point of the reboot? Unless you were just literally trying to provide that original story, but y'all already did that with a lot of the older, like the other games. So
yeah, Mortal Kombat 9 was the original story.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it is taking like a twist and turns that we don't expect, but I'll see. It looks like they just wanted to revamp the graphics and revamp the story in a way that, I don't know, they tell it in a more seamless way, but I'm like, I don't really know how unseamless it was previously. Like honestly, it's not like I guess I don't know. I don't want to. It's not like I know what the story is, but I know that there are certain things that happen and like certain characteristics for each character. It's not like I know the story though. So
Well, it's gonna
maybe
be a Mortal Kombat tournament with all the characters, like always, and that's the confusing part. Like, if you make a brand new universe, why is there still a Mortal Kombat tournament?
yeah, and I guess that's what it kind of it alluded to that, but I don't know if it's going to be actually that because
Maybe not, but they show like Katana and her sister in Outworld, and then they show Earth, and
yeah.
the whole point is that those two places fight each other. I mean, maybe it's like different universes or something like that, and they're gonna fight other people. But
they were talking
yeah,
about them coming together, and like I thought they were meant
yeah.
coming together as in NetherRealm and the Earth, but maybe they're talking
Mhm.
about enemies within the Earth because they were showing Scorpio and Sub-Zero. So I was thinking maybe they were talking about NetherRealm but at the same time they're both from I don't know. So I was like I don't know then. But I was thinking that they were going to be flipping it where they all take on that god. And then what was I forget his name now? Shang Tsung? No, it's not Shang Tsung. What is his name?
Liu Kang.
No, is that Liu Kang, that one that was killing people at the end? I didn't think that was Liu Kang.
Yeah,
Right.
because at the end of 11, he becomes a god, and so that's Liu Kang.
Oh crap! Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Fire God Liu Kang. And then I don't know if it's canon, but they had their DLC where Shang Tsung was the main character in the DLC, and he kind of like did some, crazy stuff with timeline and stuff too. So he might have something to do with the new story. But yeah,
I did not even pick that up, G. And you're absolutely right. When I beat that game, he turned into a god because he took like Raiden's powers, or like
yeah.
But when he did that, did he go back in time?
Well, yeah, he took Raiden powers, he became a god, and then he beat the bad guy 11, who was the time god, and she could control time. And when they were fighting, she take you all the way back to the beginning of time, and then you win. And then basically you're like, all right, I won, but the universe has already been like erased because she took us so far back in time. So I'm gonna put it back together.
Gotcha. Interesting. Well, I need to watch I need to watch a explained video, but that's interesting. Okay, well, I got something to look forward to. So that's cool. That's cool. All right.
Yeah, I'm excited for the story. That's the best part of Mortal Kombat, and hopefully they make it good, and I'll play it. But I mean, not for $70. They ask for a lot.
No, they for sure asking for a lot. I'm nervous about $70 games now. It's just getting worse and worse because the value is not there, and the amount of bugs and issues that happen at launch is just ridiculous. Last thing before we go, predictions for Showcase Xbox. I want at least one from you, everybody. What do you think you'll see?
Oh man, we waiting on Fable.
Gears of War.
You think you're gonna see Gears of War there? I doubt it.
Yeah, we definitely gonna see another Gears of War.
Gears of War, Halo.
Stop disrespecting us. The big
Gears
three.
of War, Forza, Halo, or Fable. What you think?
I mean, to be fair, it hasn't been a Fable game in a long time, but a new Forza come out this year, right?
Forza Motorsport, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
But yeah, another Gears and definitely Forza. But I mean, I liked Fable 2. So if they can make it a good game, like take some ideas from The Witcher or something like that, I'll play it. But I at least want to see what I want to see stuff that they announced and never showed. I want to see the new Rare game. I want to see Fable, and I don't care about nothing else. So.
Yeah. Hey, no, never mind. That's off topic. My bad. I was just going to say something about Fable.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't really have anything I want to truly see from them. I just know that I prefer that they make a game that's worth the entry, worth the value of entry. Because right now I don't have anything right now that's like worth the value of entry on the game wise. It's just more so like functions and software like Game Pass. So that's it. Okay. Well, it's been nice talking to y'all. It's been an hour and 30. Appreciate you guys staying to this part of the show. If you got it here, really appreciate you. You're the real OG. We're going to have some more topics and things like that next week. We're going to try to stay on schedule per usual, but we ain't going to, don't hold your breath. You see it when you see it. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Appreciate you as always. Anything y'all want to say before we get up out of here?
Hey, Fable 3 glitched so bad for my boy that he fell through the ground in the autosave, and every time he cut the game on, he was under the ground and he couldn't play no more. That's it.
Another thing about Bethesda games, I was playing Skyrim on the Switch, and there's a bug that's since been in every version of Skyrim, where the longer you play the game, the larger your save file get, and the slower the game runs eventually.
Dang.
What the heck, dog? No, they never fixed it, huh? Okay.
Yeah, because every item in the world is a unique item, but they don't erase the memory once you encounter it. So if you stack 1,000 chairs, those 1,000 chairs will stay in that place and will keep slowing down your game over time. And eventually, your frames will drop to 0.
Oh my god! What a genius! Geniuses.
They remind me of that dude when I overloaded the dude map and destroyed the skybox.
Oh yeah, in Forge.
Yeah, everything came in the sandbox. Everything came crashing down.
Oh my god! Well,
all right.
Game of the year. See y'all soon.
Game of the year gonna be that Fable. I just hope that like I said, I just hope that they have something that kind of meets the demand of what we're asking for. That's it. I don't even have a interest of playing it. I just wanted to be there. So we'll see. But I thank you guys for watching as always. If you enjoyed the content, please don't forget to just like, share, and like it some more. But yeah, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to y'all in the next video or podcast. Peace.